these bricks. We're gonna give them a shot. Alright, so I was kind of forced to get new style brick. These are smaller. It's a softwood, and I could tell that they actually put some pine in here because my whole house smells like pine now. So I'm going to throw in a few used paper towels, one of my own fire starters, some of the kindling from when we split wood. Now these bricks are a lot shorter than the other ones. I've burned short ones in the past. Not a big fan of the real short ones, but I already opened up the vent here. So let's see what happens. See how they go. So I had a fire this morning, so it's still a little bit warm in there. The steel is still a little warm on the stove, but we'll do a comparison to the Sunfires. I'll do a Sunfire start on video for tomorrow. For tonight, we'll burn some of these. Like I said, I prefer a hardwood. These are softwood. Sometimes they burn great, but I have never burned this particular brand before. So I'm curious to see how they start and how they compare. So we actually just went and got these today. Went down and saw my buddy Burn Time Enterprises. It seems to be catching pretty good. Like I said, I can smell some pine sawdust in here, and they seem to be a really compact, dense brick here, like a finer sawdust compaction. I'm gonna grab the label. So this is the label, if you can see that, hopefully. It says Meet Firewood 2.0. Advantages: 100% real wood, no binders or glue, low ash and moisture, hassle-free, burns hot and clean, environmentally friendly. So these packages have 12 bricks in them, whereas the other ones have 6, and they're longer. So I'm starting this fire with 6 bricks, so that's half a package. And usually I start the fire with 4 bricks of the other package. I mean, so far I actually like the way they're igniting. So my fire starter is towards the back there, and this is how I usually get the bricks going. So I keep a bucket over here, so anytime I wash my hands and dry them with a paper towel, or even blow my nose with a paper towel, whatever, I crumple them up and I throw them in the bucket, and they're usually dry by the next day, and I use them for fire starters. And it works well. And it's also less stuff for the landfill. Yeah, these are burning good. So far, so good anyway. And I can feel the heat pretty good here. I'm actually going to close this and see if it'll keep going. So the reason I'm starting a fire now, it's about 4:30. My furnace had just gone on. I didn't stoke the fire or anything since I don't know, about 9:30 this morning. So this is a good time to get it going. So a lot of people say don't burn pine, you know, and depending on the sap content in the pine, you know, that could cause a log to burn very hot, and in some cases you develop more of a creosote up in your chimney. I've never really noticed any difference. I don't burn a lot of pine, but on occasion I throw a pine log in there that I happen to have in the back for backyard fires. But like I said, my whole living room here smells like pine right now. That thing is, that's scorching. That's burning good. I'm watching the temperature on the top here. I use this dial, this gauge right here on top, and I judge everything by that. And usually when this fan starts going right here, it's just about time to cut the air to it a little bit. But I usually try and wait till I'm up around, 325, 350 degrees before I cut it down. That's definitely catching like it's a pine log, I would say. So I'm curious about these. I'll give you an honest review. Like I said, I'll burn these tonight, and then tomorrow morning we'll use some of the Surefires so you can have a direct comparison. And in past videos I compared the Surefire to the Biobricks, and they seem to be pretty equivalent. But I'm going to say I think these are burning a little hotter at this stage than the Surefires. Let's see, we're still only a little over 100 degrees on the gauge there. But I am not unhappy with how this is igniting. I mean, almost the entire bricks are engulfed except for a little bit in the back right, which those will be soon to catch. Move this back just so we don't get too much heat on the camera. The GoPro cameras run a little hot as it is. Right now those are fully engulfed, and it's only been about 4 minutes, I think. This is definitely throwing off some good heat. Oh, there goes the fan. Hopefully you can see that. I think you can. That fan works great. Helps circulate the air in the room. I mean, so far I'm giving these thumbs up. I mean, those things are caught enough where I can actually cut the air down, choke it a little bit. We're up around 200 degrees. I mean, I typically wait till I'm around 300. I think it's going to get to that temperature relatively quick. And I'm not going to burn these steady. I'll run a fire like early in the morning, and then, in the evening like now. I'm not going to burn them steady unless we get back into the real cold temperatures throughout the whole day. This was a pretty cold winter though. Yeah, them are I think they're catching faster than the Surefires. Alright, I'm just going to cut that down. So now this is going to get to a steady operating temperature. It might take probably another, I don't know, 10 minutes or more. But I'll check back with you and let you know. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes. And I notice that one of the bricks kind of fell forward, so I'm just going to adjust this. And we are running really hot. We're at about, what's that, it's hard to see, almost 600 degrees. So this stuff is very hot. And I gotta actually be careful here. So yeah, this stuff is kind of breaking up. So I'm not gonna need this much to start the fire. Man, that is hot. Wow. I like it. But I got a feeling these logs are gonna burn kind of fast. So, I mean, it's a bit excessive. Like I said, it's about 600 degrees. That's a little on the hot side. But it should taper off in a little bit. But man, I could feel the heat here. Wow. But I'll keep you posted. Alright, we're at the 1 hour mark. And I haven't added anything since all I did was adjusted that in the last scene there I showed you. And the temperature right now is 450. and still burning strong. It's been an hour. So far I like what's going on. As I add bricks or whatever, I'll give you more advice or more information pertaining to these bricks. Alright, so it's been an hour and a half and we're still at about 375 degrees. Adding the first couple bricks. We'll see how that goes. Should not take them long to go. There they go. So that other one will catch pretty quick too. You can see it's smoking already. I could have even added them a little bit earlier, but no big deal. There it goes. Alright. See how it goes. Alright, so these been in there for just about 25 minutes. The temperature went back up to about 500. And boy, do I feel the heat. So these are definitely burning hotter, I believe, than the other bricks. I'll see how they do overnight also. Because I have a good idea how long the Sunfires burn throughout the night. So we'll see what happens. Looks good so far. Alright. So this is the next morning. We're gonna set up some Sunfires. And you can see the different sizes of bricks. Same thing, fire starter, some paper towels, all used paper towels, and a few pieces of kindling. And that's a total of 4 bricks. I already opened up the damper. It's the exact same setup as yesterday. The only difference now is I got coffee. So those other bricks, they didn't seem to last very long in the night, and they burned down to a very fine powder, ash. I mean, just because of that, I prefer to have the hardwood bricks, but they'll still be fine for burning the way we burn. If I wanted to have the fire going longer at night, I just think those other ones just burn too hot, too fast. Yeah, you're getting good BTU out of them, but you know, you're probably going to end up loading your fire a little too often. So you can even see, like, these don't start as fast as the other bricks, but they get going. These things are great. These are steady eddies, man. I love these Surefires. The Enviros too, I like them a lot too. It's a very similar brick. Now the other bricks that I just purchased, they were about $15 cheaper than these, I believe. So this Surefire, this time of year they're about $3.50 for a pallet, and I believe that's at least 90 packages. These other packages hold 12. The Surefires hold 6. So you only get 84 packages on a pallet with the smaller bricks. Now, I didn't calculate how many actual bricks you get. So 90 times 6, you know, it's like 540. The other ones, what did I say? 84. It would be 84 times 12. I don't have my calculator out. So this is typically how I start the fires. Now, if I bank this, you know, with a lot of brick, the bigger bricks last night, I would still have some, you know, hot coals in here. It'd be a little easier to start the fire, but this is for science. I know it's a little boring watching, you know, just watching the thing start on fire, but this is for science. This is in the name of science. So I'm leaving the door open a little longer than I normally would, because when you partially close the door, you'll get more heat being held inside the stove. So stoves don't work properly until they're up to operating temperature. Then you have a good burn of the smoke, you know, things burn cleaner. And these bricks do burn cleaner than regular wood. That's one thing I like about them. So on the other bricks, I mean, they were pretty engulfed by now. That doesn't mean they're better. But again, just like logs, you know, burning hardwood is better. But starting fires, softwoods are better sometimes. So the kindling that I have is a mixture of soft and hardwoods. Most of the stuff I have is hardwoods though. But like I said, I would recommend burning bricks and wood, or you know, one or the other. There's pros and cons to both. Just because somebody is specifically burning bricks, they got their reasoning. You know, that it's a lot easier to just go have a pallet stuffed in my trailer or the back of a pickup truck and then come home and unload them once and then have to grab, you know, a package here and there for the fireplace, as opposed to getting logs, either having them dumped at your house or you go pick them up, bring them to the house, then you got to cut and split them, and then stack them, and then you got to move them again to the fireplace. There's quite a bit more work in doing that, but the cost, if you get your wood for free like I do, it's cheaper than paying $3.35 per, you know, or $3.50 per pallet full. But time is money too. So, and then bricks got to be stored indoors. Wood could be stored outdoors. Not everybody has room in their house to store bricks. I'm lucky where I could do both. But my main concern with getting bricks again, and yeah, I got ahead of myself and I burned probably too many this year on purpose, is to have these in case of emergency. So if power goes out for any length of time, I could still heat my house. I don't have to worry about freezing to death or pipes freezing or anything like that. So this is starting to get going pretty good. I'm gonna, just like yesterday, I'm gonna close this up a little bit. And we are only at 100 degrees on the gauge here. But them are going good. I would say in direct comparison, those other ones just got started a little bit faster than these. But these will eventually burn down to a fine ash as well. But you know, you want to kind of break them up a little bit as they're burning down. If I just leave them and don't touch them at all, you might end up with like a little crusty ash. But if you break them up when they kind of start separating after an hour or two, you get a finer ash. You could also go back in my videos and see the other comparison on these Sunfires and the Biobricks. So that's actually going good enough where I could close that. We obviously have a good flow up of smoke out the chimney, good draft. So I think in comparison that these bricks aren't going to burn quite as hot as the smaller bricks, but I think these will burn for a longer period of time. And that's one key feature with these. So you're not loading the stove as often. Those small bricks, I mean, I only went through a package and a half last night. Not even. I went through one package of 12 and 3 extra bricks that I put on before I went to bed. I probably could have added, you know, 1 or 2 more. It would have gone a little bit longer. I'd say in the future I would stick to the Sunfires, but in emergency, these little bricks are fine. Now you can also see my little fan didn't start going yet. So the heat is transferring right now. It's starting to warm up the stove box, the steel. So once that temperature starts to rise, then that little fan, it'll get hot enough to cause a little electricity and get that little motor running. Those fans are very efficient. I wish I could put a second one on there, but being an insert, I don't have a lot of space on the top of my stove here. And that's one downside of having an insert as opposed to a freestanding. I wish I could do a freestanding, but that would put the opening of the stove over the wood floor, and you know, I got to be careful. All these years of burning, and I only got this one little, and I'll show you, one little spot on the floor right there, where when I opened the door, one ash came out, or coal, and I couldn't pick it up fast enough. Years ago we used to have like a stone little placard here on the floor in front of the stove, but I decided I didn't really need that. But this is a great setup. If you have a fireplace, I mean, and you want to be prepared on any level, I highly recommend getting a wood stove, whether it be an insert or a freestanding. If you don't mind doing a little bit of work, even if you buy one and barely use it, at least you have it for emergency. And you always gotta think ahead, look ahead for potential disasters. Ice storms, they take down wires. Back in 2013, I believe the date was, we had a 3-day ice storm where the snow and ice was so heavy it knocked out power in most of the state, and there was some areas that were out of power for several weeks. Here in this location, we only lost power for 2 or 3 days. We were lucky, but we didn't have access to gasoline. All the gas stations were out. Couldn't pump the gas, so I even had I store some gas here, so I had to drain like my equipment to put gas in my car so I could go to work. I was an essential employee, but at that time we still had the wood stove and we didn't have to worry about heating the house or staying warm. So now the temperature is starting to go up on the stove. It's probably around 250 right now. And here's the fan. There it goes. So sometimes I wait a little bit longer, but yeah, we're 250. So I'm just gonna cut this down the same way I did yesterday, and we'll check back with you in about 20 minutes or so. Okay, so it's been about 20-ish minutes, and pretty similar to yesterday. We are at just shy of 600 degrees, and the only thing I did here is I pushed this brick back, the top brick, about an inch or so, just in case. I didn't want anything to fall forward. And that's one of the keys to burning a fire, is you want to protect your glass. You do not want anything to fall forward. As you can see, the brick has split, and you know, a piece may fall forward, but not enough to fracture the glass. But we are burning pretty hot right now, and I'd say at this stage it's pretty equivalent to the other bricks. Again, I feel that these bricks are going to have a little more longevity in holding heat and, you know, burning a little bit longer, as opposed to the other ones burning out a little faster. So far, that's the only real difference that I see. Also, the packaging of this 12 bricks doesn't seem to be real uniform. They kind of vary in size a little bit. I don't know why that is. The packaging, like some of them are kind of like curved, not totally square, so they're a little more bulky as opposed to the Surefires that stack nice and uniform. So that's one thing I noticed. But so far so good. We are running at about 400 degrees on the thermometer there. I haven't done anything with this till now. But you can see, just kind of break them up. These things will re-catch on fire. At this point, I can add one or two, whatever you want to do. And you put them in a position where they can't roll. Same with logs. You put them in a position where they can't roll and hit the glass, because that could be tragic, could be devastating. But anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Again, I'll probably lean towards the Surefires for the longevity of the burn compared to, let me get the name of these. These are called Fiber Fuel. So compared to the Fiber Fuel, I think those burn too fast. Not that they're too hot, I like the heat, but they burn too fast compared to these. So in the future, I'll stick to a hardwood brick, just so you know. But in emergency, I wouldn't hesitate to buy the other ones as well. Thanks for watching.